So I was born in 2002, meaning I missed the entirety of the 20th century. But you wouldn't think that if you listen to my music playlists. I mean, if you use YouTube Music, you'll know about this. It basically totals up the most listened to songs for spring and it makes it into like a mini playlist. I'm sure you guys have already noticed because it's on the screen right now, but there is a lot of Tupac on there. Like, I've already made a video talking about how I think he's the rap goat and all of this stuff, but that's not what this video is about, you know, because rap goat is so subjective. I don't believe in objectively bad music, except for Lil Xan.
And her pussy tastes like Skittles, what? Yeah, hey. I like lean, I like drugs, I like beams, I got plugs.
Lil Xan has not made one good song ever, so he's objectively shit, but I don't like saying things are objectively bad because music is subjective, you know? It's built for different people with different music tastes, all of that type of stuff. I can say I'm not into something, but I'll never say anything is objectively bad. So if you've been on YouTube long enough, you would have seen a ton of videos, and I mean a ton, reminiscing about, for example, I'm gonna talk about 90s rap. They reminisce on the old 90s rap period where they made that real hip hop and all of that shit, and they clown a lot of artists from today's generation. However, in my personal life, it's more the opposite. I have a lot of friends who listen to music of today and they clown people from back then. I ain't gonna mention any names, but the people watching this, they already know who they are. Personally, I feel like music debates in general are just useless, especially when you compare the 90s music or the 80s music to now. There's no point in my opinion because A, you're arguing about two different generations because let's be honest, the older generation ain't gonna be caping for this new music. It's two different generations of people arguing, so you're never gonna agree. And B, your taste in music will not ever change drastically throughout your life. If it will take years and years and years because your music taste is cultivated and it's derived from experiences in your childhood or growing up into an adult. You don't just all of a sudden decide to listen to Lil Baby after listening to Biggie for 20 years. It just doesn't work like that. So in my experience, when I was growing up, talking about like 4 or 5 years old, my dad, he still is, but he was into a lot of 80s and 90s rap. That was his bread and butter. He didn't like what was going on in the 2000s at the time. 80s and 90s rap, that was his thing. So people like Tupac, Rakim, and then people from the 2000s that he like listened to is people like Buckshot from the Boot Camp clique. But yeah, he didn't fuck with no radio hits. He didn't fuck with most of the rappers from the 2000s. That shaped my taste in rap music, because I didn't grow up listening to people of my generation. So people like Jeezy, people like T-Pain, even though I do like T-Pain now, people like 50 Cent, people of that generation of, you know, the mid to late 2000s. I didn't grow up listening to those people unless they were on the radio, unless they were club hits or radio hits. I don't really, even to this day, I don't really go back and look at the hits from that era because I grew up listening to music that was before me. You get what I'm saying? But the thing is, that's just my personal experience. Like, I don't really know too many people who share my same experience. So I don't get why people like to clown others for listening to music from this generation. Like, people can have so many different paths to get to artists that they like. I just don't like when people go OD with, oh, you're not a fan of real hip hop, you're not a fan of this, you're not a fan of that. Like, we shouldn't clown people for liking what they like. Music is subjective. My biggest issue with debating music is when people try and call others bluff. As in, for example, I have Tupac as my GOAT. People will try and call my bluff because I wasn't around in the 90s. They try and say, oh, I'm capping, or I'm just making it because Tupac is this legendary figure. Like, bro, you're not Sherlock Holmes. Put the magnifying glass down, bro. You're not a detective. Allow that shit. I hate that point so much, bro. You didn't live through it, so you can't fully understand and contextualize it. Like, shut up. Shut up. All right, everybody has songs from the 70s and 80s that they like. Every single person has a song from that generation that you like, whether it's Madonna or whether it's fucking Rod Stewart or anyone like that, bro. Whether it's Michael Jackson, whether it's Prince. Well, I can't like any of them now because I wasn't alive for that. You sound stupid when you make comments like that, bro. Shut up, you're a dummy. What makes music so great, and which is why I also think debates are horrible, is music is timeless. Yes, there is music that can go out of style. I can understand that personally. It doesn't fit with what music is like today. So I understand if people don't have Tupac in their top 10 or whatever. Every list is subjective. A lot of people don't like or don't listen to Tupac. It's not that big of a deal. But I just hate when people call it blasphemous to not have Tupac in your top 10. It's like, no, nigga, no, bro. Allow that. Like, I have Buckshot in my top 5. He's not a top 5 rapper, but he's in my top 5. So yeah, let me know in the comments, did I miss the mark? Am I tripping? I'm still a small channel, so I respond to every single comment, or at least try to. If it's a wild ass comment, you might not get a response, but I see every comment. I'm only at like 180 subs, bro. Thanks for all the support though. The last few vids have been crazy. I'm not gonna ramble. Leave your comments, all right? If you have an opinion, please leave it in the comments. Don't be shy, all right? I'm a nobody. Don't worry about your opinion being scrutinized. I'm a random nigga on the internet. So, take care.
I'm not a savior nor a saint. Told 30s and sticks with an open case. I try to behave when I know I can't. So purpose of this is to motivate. What's the ticket? Shit we can negotiate. Take a toke of the law while I